Morning, everyone. Welcome. October the 1st. Yeah, it's time for the Fall Classic because fall is here. October 1st, 2020. And it's time to talk about some fantasy baseball, football, reality. How about yesterday? Eight, yeah, eight playoff games in one day. It was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Then the Yankee game comes on at 7, and it doesn't because of rain. And it's crazy. They delay the game while it's not raining, and they start playing when it is. What a game. Did you watch it? It was an incredible game, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. We've got three teams already punched their ticket to the next round. We've also got some fantasy football news this morning. I'll just start with that because this is breaking news just a few minutes ago. The Steeler Titan game. If you've been under a rock, I'll enlighten you and get you out from under the rock. The Titans played Sunday after the game. Some players and staff both diagnosed with corona. And as a result, the NFL said they were going to postpone the game between the Steelers and the Titans. Well, it was initially yesterday. The discussion was it was going to be either Monday or Tuesday of next week. Now NFL comes out at 9:30 Eastern time this morning and says they're going to cancel the game in total. So there will be no Steeler Titan game this week. Now the question is for us fantasy players who have a Derrick Henry, who have Steeler players, whether it be Juju Schuster or whoever it may be, if they play the game later in the season, when do the stats count? Do they retroactively score it in week 4 when the game was originally scheduled to be played? Or, excuse me, do they score those points in the week the game is played? A follow-up, the NFL just said a couple minutes ago before I came on the air, in fact, I was watching the story, is that they will have an announcement, quote, shortly, end of quote. Pardon my cough. So we shall see when that game is rescheduled. We shall see the effect of that on fantasy. But let's never forget the most important factor, and that's the health of players, coaches, staff, those associated with going to games. That's the most important thing, is someone's health. And for those who have been diagnosed with the coronavirus, with COVID-19, I just my thoughts are with you, and hope that there's a healing and a quick recovery. That's the most important thing. And we talk about that on here. We love talking our fantasy sports. We love talking about reality sports. We're going to talk about some baseball here in just a moment. But let's never lose track of what is most important, and that is the blessing of good health. So hopefully these players with the Titans will be back to health, full strength really soon. Yesterday, I want to go through some of the games. I know it's already been discussed. You've heard it before. I'll give you my insight on it. How about that? Brewers Dodgers. Let's start at the last game and let's work up to the afternoon. How about that? Brewers Dodgers last night on the West Coast. The Dodgers win 4-2 over the Brewers. Your typical Mookie Betts 2 for 4. Corey Seager hits a 447-foot home run last night for LA. The Brewers trying to shake things up, right? I mean, you got to do something. The Brewers, look, this is my take. The Brewers underachieved all season long. They just never quite had the Brewer touch from a year ago. First of all, it's pretty easy to see that when you look at Yelich, you know, look, he went 2 for 21 over his last 8 games of the season. We know he was flickering around the Mendoza line all year long. The Brewers dropped Keston Hiura to 8th in the order last night. They still lose the game. Early on, the pitching for Milwaukee was just wild. I guess that's the best way of saying it. If you look at their pitching line, Suter, who started, he only goes an inning and 2/3, and he walks 5 hitters. So for every out he got, he also issued a walk. Add to that misery, he gave up 3 hits and 3 earned runs, and the game was really over before it started, and he struck out none. Vogelbach and Yelich both doubled. Now, Yelich, hitting in the leadoff spot, did go 2 for 5. Avisel Garcia went 3 for 4. But when you take those 5 hits out of the Brewer lineup, they only had 2 other hits for the rest of the night amongst the other players in the lineup. Braun went 0 for, Gyurko went 0 for, Sogard went 0 for, Hiura went 0 for, Narvaez went 0 for. And look, the Brewer bullpen, called in the 2nd inning last night. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, you look at that Buehler. Now, Buehler, he only threw 4 innings. But remember, Buehler's had that blister issue, a.k.a. Rich Hill, his predecessor. But in 4 innings last night, he struck out 8 batters. Then the Dodgers pieced it with their bullpen. I tell you what, if you watched Julio Urias last night, Urias looked like the prospect we've talked about for years. He threw 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, no walks, no runs, 5 strikeouts, followed by Trennan and Jansen. And that's going to be a formula for the Dodgers throughout this playoff, going with Trennan in the 8th, Jansen in the 9th. As long as it's working, it's going to keep working. But last night, Urias, look, he threw 52 pitches in 3 innings. 37 of his 52 pitches were for strikes. That's critical. Whereas you look at Suter, 51 pitches in an inning and 2/3, only 21 were for strikes. So if you think it boils down to pitching, you bet your bippy it does. The Dodgers win 4-2. Today, LA will go with Kershaw as he tries to shake off ghosts of fall classic past. Kershaw, long documented, just has never been the playoff pitcher that he has been regular season pitcher. He's going to get a stiff test today. Brandon Woodruff going for Milwaukee. He's the best they have, and it's an elimination game for Milwaukee. That's the great thing about these playoffs in the wild card round. 2 and you're gone. And there were 3 teams eliminated yesterday. We're going to talk about those in just a moment. But that's a look at the Dodger game. Drawing a few more things off of that game last night. Corey Seager, I talked about his bomb. But the middle of the order for the Dodgers, really not productive. Okay? Now, Pollock got an RBI down near the bottom. But look, Turner batting 3rd went 0 for 4. Muncy batting 4th went 0 for 2. Now, he did walk twice. Smith went 0 for 3, and Bellinger hit 1 for 4. So the 3 through 6 hitters combined for 1 hit. It was just the wildness of Suter setting the stage early, and then when he did throw it over, the Dodgers hit it early, and that was the ball game. Buehler and Urias combined for 7 innings, 12 strikeouts. The Dodger pitching is dominant. They're going to hit enough. I think it's sayonara Milwaukee after tonight. We'll see. But 4-2 LA. Now, how about let's go to another. I guess we'll go to another evening game. The Rays and Blue Jays. 8-2. The Blue Jays are eliminated. The Rays advance. Well, we know Tampa is loaded. Okay, they come in the number 1 seed, And they hit up and down their order. They had 12 hits last night off of Hinge and Ryu and others. Ryu only goes an inning and 2/3. Gave up 3 earned, 7 total runs, 2 home runs. The ace in waiting for the Blue Jays will have to wait another year. He looked absolutely overmatched yesterday against these Rays hitters. And you look at the stat lines, Brosseau leads off. He plays against lefties. He got 2 hits. Arizarena with 3 hits. Brandon Lau got a hit. Yandy Diaz back in the lineup for the playoffs, went hitless, but he did play and did walk twice. Margot gets a hit. Renfroe gets a hit. Of course, Renfroe's was a grand slam off Ryu. That was all she wrote for him. Adames a hit. Kiermaier a hit. Zunino 2 hits with a home run, another one off Ryu. Up and down the order, the Rays were hitting yesterday. They made short work of the Blue Jays. Not really any bright spots in that Blue Jay lineup. The top 3 hitters, the Biggio, Bichette, Lourdes Gurriel, where the Rays needed hits, they combined 0 for 10 yesterday. And that's about all you need to know. 8-2, Tampa advances. They will meet who? They will meet the New York Yankees, baby. That's right. The Yankees advance. What a game in Cleveland last night. It turns out, start the game, they delay it. There's rain. They're playing in the rain. Tanaka has nothing early on. I mean, really nothing. The first inning, the Cleveland Indians score 4 runs. It's 4-0. Things aren't looking good for the Yankees. They scratch for 1 in the second on a home run by Giancarlo Stanton. And then in the 4th, they score 4 runs and take a 5-4 lead. And from that point, it's back and forth, back and forth. In the 8th, we go to the top of the 9th. The Indians lead 9-8. And the Yankees rally. Rally with big hit by Gio Urshela. He homered earlier in the game with a grand slam. The grand slam was in the 4th to put the Yankees ahead. Gio Urshela is quickly becoming a star, not just a regular complimentary player. He is becoming a star on this Yankee team. Giancarlo Stanton came through in a big way. With runners on base last night, there was a ball hit by Yankee shortstop Gleyber Torres just over the head of Brad Hand. It looked like a ball Hand could have caught. He muffled it. It puts people on base. LeMahieu after that comes up after a sacrifice fly by Gary Sanchez. And I want to talk about Sanchez in just a moment. LeMahieu with the runner on, drives him in, the go-ahead run. Yankees hold on. Chapman pitches 2 innings in relief, strikes out 4, gets a save. Couple of notes from the game. Now the Yankees have proceeded on to the next round. First of all, they have no trust whatsoever in Adam Ottavino. He was not in the pitching mix last night. He is not in the circle of trust. I'm wondering if they'll even include him on the next round roster. In a game last night where he certainly, in the past, would have been used, he certainly was not. Another point I want to make, Gary Sanchez, home run, sac fly, for all the criticism he's received, and from me, he has received it too. He played a whale of a game last night. Without Sanchez and Urshela and a few more, it doesn't happen. Stanton came through, 2 walks, a hit, a home run. Great game. Just happened to go the Yankees' way. Now they get to face the Rays on Monday. I'm assuming we'll see Blake Snell, Garrett Cole. It's the best of 5. They play every day through Friday. That rivalry that we have seen develop over the last couple of years will be on full display. Can't wait. Ought to be a good one. Did you watch the Braves-Reds game yesterday? Wow. If you love pitching, you love that game. You look at the Max Fried going against Trevor Bauer. It was a game of aces. Look at their lines real quick. Fried, 7 innings, 6 hits, no walks, no runs, 5 strikeouts. But the Braves bullpen goes 6 scoreless innings after that. Now, O'Day did give up a hit and a couple of walks, and they had bases loaded. Mastek comes in and gets out of the bases loaded jam. Green gives up some hits. Minner gets the win, but it was a gutsy, brave bullpen performance. Now, for the Reds pitching yesterday, Bauer goes 7 2/3, only allowed 2 hits, struck out 12, no walks, no runs. Iglesias pitched well, inning and a third, struck out 4. Yeah. One of those, a wild pitch, guy gets on base. How about that? You don't see that line very often. Sims pitches an inning. Lorenzen, 2 innings, pitched 4 strikeouts. Bradley gave up a couple hits. Garrett gave up the hit and scored the run, but Bradley was the loser because he allowed the runner in scoring position to score. But it was a truly great game. Now, the Reds did put together 11 hits yesterday, but none of them back-to-back. You look at the line, Senzel gets 2 hits, Castellanos gets 3, Votto gets 2, Aquino gets 2, but never good pitching, let's put it that way. Now, today is an elimination game for the Reds, and it's going to be their ace, Castillo, against Ian Anderson, the rookie pitcher for Atlanta. That game's going to be at 12:08, right after noontime today. Great. Look, don't you just love these 2 games and you're done? I know we did the schedule, or we didn't do it. I know MLB did the schedule based on Corona and the 2020 circumstances, but I love it. I wish it was like this every year. I mean, tell me the last time you watched 8 playoff games on the same day. I can tell you the last time you did it was yesterday. It's never happened before. And great games to watch. So today at 12:08, Reds, Braves. Other games from yesterday. How about the Astros and the Twins? 18 straight. That's right. If you do something 18 straight times, you figured it out, right? You figured something out. 18 straight times, you do something, well, you're pretty good at it. Well, the Twins, it's the old saying, show me a team that doesn't mind losing, and I'll show you a team that loses a lot. That's all the Twins do in the playoffs. I have not been a Twins fan. I am not. I don't dislike them. When I say not a fan, I don't believe in them. And yesterday, yet another reason why not. It's not just the Yankees who eliminate the Twins. It's the Astros this time. And the Astros did it with some timely hitting and some really good pitching. Carolina League great Christian Javier comes in yesterday after Urquidy goes 4 1/3. Javier starts the 6th inning, goes the 6th, 7th, and 8th, gives up no hits, holds the Twins, that vaunted hitter lineup. Look, the Twins got 3 hits yesterday. 3. So talk about their pitching all you want. Berrios went 5, only gave up 1 run. Stashak pitched 2 innings in relief. He's the losing pitcher, gave up a run. But when you only get 3 hits, Cruz got 1, the timeless wonder. Kirilloff, this is a unique story, right? Kirilloff's a rookie. Didn't play at all during the regular season. His baseball cards are, PSA 10s are out of sight, by the way. Kirilloff is a 300 hitter in their minor league system, highly touted rookie, playing in the playoffs, which I've never seen before. I've never seen a rookie play in the playoffs without playing at least 1 game in the regular season. But Kirilloff does. He plays right field, and he got a hit. So he has a playoff hit, but he has no service time in the major leagues, and on record, he hasn't yet recorded his first major league official hit because the playoffs don't count. I guess he still got the baseball, and I'm sure in his mind it counts pretty good. But when you talk about next season, he'll start the season, he'll get a hit, they'll pull the ball in because it'll be his first ever major league career hit, even though he got one yesterday. Anyway, try to explain that to your grandchild. And Marwin Gonzalez got the other hit. So it's another short playoff run for the Twins. two, not 3 and done this year, but 2 and done this year. And I don't know if you watched it or not, but Eddie Rosario gets ejected late in the game, arguing with the umpire. I guess the umpire felt it, which went a little far. Probably frustration on Rosario's part. It was late in the game. They were already down. Houston did tack on a run late in the top of the ninth. So it was 2-1 entering the ninth, basically anyone's game. And it's not like Houston slugged the cover off the ball, but I tell you, a player, we've talked about him before, Kyle Tucker, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Kyle Tucker taking the place of Alvarez. Now, can you imagine next year if Alvarez is back healthy and you have Alvarez at DH and you have Tucker too? They're going to probably lose some players in free agency. But Tucker went 2 for 4 yesterday with 2 RBIs, and Carlos Correa homers in the 7th inning, the go-ahead run, if you will. Pitching-wise, I told you about Urquidy, I told you about Javier, and Presley strikes out 2 in the ninth to get the save. Houston advances, and they will now await the winner of the Oakland Swinging A's and the Chicago White Sox. The A's evened it up yesterday. Brad Matthews, go Cards. We'll talk about the Cards next since you're online. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for Brad to get online so I could talk about the Cardinals. They're coming up next. I was saving Brad, as you would say, the best for last. How about that? Just for you, my friend. Brad's a great – look, Brad Matthews, I've known him all his life. I'm older than Brad. Great ball player. His son's great ball players. His dad, great ball player. His granddad, great ball player, okay? But he's a Cardinals fan. Ah! Cardinals, Yankees, baby. What do you think? We shall see. Let's talk about the A's and the White Sox real quick. A's down after the first game. They win yesterday 5-3. Look, here's the key. Don't throw a left-handed pitcher against the White Sox. Throw a righty. They're stacked with right-handed power. I know Makeda's left-handed, but look, you've got Eloy Jimenez. You've got their – let's get down their lineup. Why don't we do that for a moment? White Sox. Anderson, right-hander. Grandal's a switch hitter, and Makeda's a switch hitter. But then you got Abreu, a righty, and Encarnacion, a righty, Robert, a righty. All these great, powerful right-handed bats. Yesterday, the A's throw Chris Bassett. He looked great. 7 innings, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. Liam Hendricks says he can go again today with an inning and 2/3. Struck out. Every out was a strikeout. Diekman gets the save, pitching 1 out in the ninth. White Sox, Keuchel, they talked about Keuchel's back, and he's just not following through with that back. And you saw it yesterday. Gives up 3 runs in 3 1/3. Neither team has yet announced a starter for today. Now, for Chicago, it won't be Dylan Cease. He pitched yesterday in relief. Probably Dane Dunning, who's like the girl with the curl. He's either really good or really not. Oakland's, is it going to be Manaea? Will they go with a right-hander? It's going to be a gutsy call. What I can see happening is a lot of pitchers pitching for both teams today. All hands on deck, and whoever's hot at the time will probably just keep rolling. The elimination game today, let's see, that game is being played. Reds start off today at 12:08. I haven't talked about the Marlins and Cubs yet. The White Sox A's game's at 3:10. So let's talk about the Marlins and the Cubs. Big scare yesterday. First of all, the Marlins win, and you got to be tickled to death for the Marlins. I mean, you talk about a rags to riches. They have players out early in the year with COVID. They're predicted to finish last once again in the National League East. Not only do they not finish last, they finish second over the Mets, over the Phillies, over the Nationals, the World Series champs. And now they're in their first playoff game since 2003. 2003, they win the World Series over the Yankees. And they win again. They win 5-1. They score 4 runs in the 7th. A grand slam by Dickerson off of Kyle Hendricks. Now, the scare for the Marlins yesterday, watching that game in the 9th inning, Starling Marte hit in the hand by a pitch, leaves the game. The fear initially was he had broken a bone. No, He's not broken a bone. X-rays were negative. He's day-to-day. Don't know that he'll play today or not. But he's not out for an extended period of time. I'm sure that's, if you've been hitting the hand with a pitch, you know it hurts like heck, the dickens. I mean, it hurts. But he's scheduled to be on the bench. If he doesn't play today, I look forward to playing game 3. Now, the Cubs go with their very best today in Yu Darvish. But I'll tell you what, the Marlins are throwing a rookie pitcher today, Sixto Sanchez, who's every bit as electric as Yu Darvish. He really is. Now, he's a rookie. And as Lenny Melnick often says, a rookie is a rookie is a rookie. But he's a rookie in a playoff. 208 today. That game really intrigues me. If the Marlins win today, then they have off until next week. They get their pitching staff back. Starling Marte gets to recover. Interesting to see what happens. And they're waiting, that winner, waiting to see what happens. And I saved it for you, Brad. Cardinals and Padres, baby. Let's talk about those Redbirds. How many of you guys, like me, picked up Dylan Carlson in your fantasy leagues this year because of all the hype you've read, how great he was going to be, how he was the best outfielder the Cardinals had? You pick him up in fantasy, and he just doesn't cut it for you. Well, yesterday, good morning, Tabitha. It's good to see you on this morning. We're talking baseball this morning. Good to see you with us. Thank you for chiming in. If you have any questions, Tabitha, we're talking about the Cardinals, talking about the Padres right now. You can type them in. Brad got a question. Let me hear it. But you Cardinals fans, Dylan Carlson, not a great season, but he bats cleanup yesterday, and look what he did. He doubled. He stole a couple of bases. He walked twice. This is a rookie batting cleanup and playing the best he's played all year. Yadi Molina. Yadi's got to be 97 years old, but he plays like he's 17. Yadi goes 3 for 5 yesterday. Paul DeJong goes 2 for 2. The big shot of the game was early on. Goldie. Paul Goldschmidt comes up in the first inning and homers off Chris Paddock, driving in a couple. The Cardinals got 13 hits yesterday, 7 runs. Carpenter, who has been in the doghouse of Brad Matthews all year, he gets a hit, drives in 2. Colton Wong doubles. Dexter Fowler goes 2 for 5. Just a great hitting day. Kim, the starting pitcher, not so great. 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. But the bullpen gave up no earned runs the rest of the way. So from the end of the 4th on, no earned runs, no runs at all for the San Diego Padres. Gallegos goes an inning and a third. Miller goes 2/3 of an inning. Reyes, the much heralded pitcher who always seems to be hurt. He's had tough luck. But Reyes comes in, pitches the last inning and a third, gets the save. A perfect line for him. Padres, well, just not key hits yesterday. And you look at their Paddock pitching 2 1/3, giving up 6 earned runs. And they're without Lamet. They're without Clevenger, who aren't even on the roster. Tatis goes 1 for 4. Machado 1 for 5. Pham 2 for 4. They get 8 hits. They score 4 runs, but the bottom line, their pitching didn't come through yesterday. So what will happen today? Wainwright, and Adam Wainwright has got to be one of the most clutch pitchers on the planet. He's going at 7:08 tonight, primetime game in San Diego at Petco against Davies. I talked about yesterday. I'm not impressed with Zach Davies. He played with the Brewers. He doesn't throw that hard. He has had a good regular season. Good morning, Amy Elmore Cannon. It's good to see you this morning. paying attention to what's going on in the baseball universe. But Davies just does not impress me. Zach Davies, I think the Cardinals eat his lunch. I think they jump on him early tonight. I think the Cardinals score a lot of runs. And I think the Cardinals advance. So today you're going to have either the Cardinals or Padres, White Sox or A's. Somebody, I think the Cardinals advance. You ready? I think the White Sox advance. Marlins and Cubs, if the Marlins can win, that one is over. Reds and Braves ought to be a great one. All the great pitching yesterday, and then you got the Brewers and Dodgers. So those are the games set for today. Remember, the Yankees have advanced. Astros have advanced. And the Tampa Bay Rays have advanced. 3 of the 8 slots are locked in. 1 more American League, 4 National League to go. It's going to be a great day. I got up this morning, went outside, did my running. 54 degrees in North Carolina this morning. It feels like fall. It's great. So I want you guys to go out, have a great day today. Thank you for being in the chat room, on Spreaker, watching here on Facebook or on StreamYard or whatever device you're with us on. I'll be back on Monday. We'll talk about a lot of fantasy baseball then. A lot of things will be set in place then because we'll be in the divisional round. You guys have a great day. I look forward to seeing you then. You're right here on Arnie's Fantasy